Hello everyone, welcome to this session of Class 6 Mathematics and I am your Anu again. Last class it was Fractions chapter 7 and we saw some concepts regarding fractions. I told you how do we form fractions and how are they divided equally. So that is very important. You need to divide the parts equally. That is the meaning of making fractions. So the parts has to be equal and the number of parts divided by the total number of parts will give you the fractions. I told you it is written in the form of P by Q. Okay. So P by Q means a number upon one number upon another. So Q should not be equal to 0 because we know if the denominator becomes 0, the fraction becomes undefined. We can't define a fraction with the denominator 0. Okay, so the upper part is called the numerator and the bottom part is called the denominator. A quick recap, we saw equivalent fractions, that is if I make the fraction like 1 by 2, see this is 1 by 2, isn't it? Two equal parts and one part is shaded, so that is 1 by 2, and I further divide it into another half, it becomes 2 by 4, and if I divide it into another two halves, then it becomes 4 by 8 and so on. See, this becomes 8 by 16. Now I didn't change anything regarding the shadings or the shaded part, but see, we have number of fractions, isn't it? But all the fractions are one and the same because the diagram, see, the parts are although the parts are different, the shading is same. I haven't changed the diagram a bit. The diagram is as such and the shading is as such, but the fractions are different because I have divided it into many parts. Okay, so these types of fractions are known as equivalent fractions. Why are they called equivalent fractions? Because from 1 by 2 I derive 2 by 4, from 2 by 4 4 by 8, and from 4 by 8 I get 8 by 16. So that is, if I multiply this by 2, 1 into 2, 2 into 2, it gives you 2 into 4, 2 by 4. And when 2 by 4, when the fraction is divided, when the fraction is multiplied by the same number, when I say fraction here, it means both numerator and denominator. So whenever I say fraction, it means both numerator and the denominator. So the fraction is multiplied by the same number, you get another fraction, and that fraction is called an equivalent fraction of the previous one. Do you understand? So it doesn't mean that we need to only multiply the fraction by a same number. We can also divide the number. If at all it can be divided, it can be reduced, then we can get an equivalent fraction from 8 by 16 too, isn't it? From 8 by 16, when 8 by 16 is divided by 4, see, 8 by 16, 8 divided by 4 will give you 2 and 16 divided by 4 will give you 4, isn't it? So we can get equivalent fractions by dividing also. Okay, that you should remember. And 8 by 16, see, 1 by 2 becomes 8 by 16 and 8 by 16 becomes 1 by 2. But after 1 by 2, we won't be able to reduce it any further. So 1 by 2 is the simplest form of the fraction. Okay, so simplest form of shading I started from 1 by 2, isn't it? So that is the simplest form of fraction I can make with the whole object. So that 1 by 2 is the simplest form of 8 by 16. So likewise, when I say 9 by 15, say when I write 9 by 15, see, I should see what is the common factor or what is the number which can divide both numerator and denominator simultaneously. Okay, so in other words, I can say it as HCF of both the numbers, isn't it? We have done HCF in the previous lessons, so you should be able to correlate with that. So HCF for 9 and 14 is 3. We know 3 is the HCF, isn't it? Because 3 divides both 9 and 15. Or to say it in more simpler words, in 3 tables we can see 9 and 15 together, isn't it? So 3 3s are 9 and 3 5s are 15. See, when you see 3 by 5, will I be able to reduce it further? After 3 by 5, will I be able to reduce it further? No, because the HCF of 3 by 5, again I need to see the HCF for that. So the HCF of 3 by 5 or the number which divides both 3 by 5 is none other than 1. So when you have HCF 1 or when you have 1 as a common factor which divides both numerator and denominator, stop with that. And that is called the simplest form of the given fraction. Do you understand? So that is known as the simplest form or the standard form or the reduced form or the lowest form. So anyway I can say, but after this I won't be able to reduce the fraction still further. Do you understand? So 3 by 5 is the lowest form of the fraction 9 by 50. So whenever I write the reduced, whenever I find the reduced form or the simplest form for the given fraction, then we understand both the fractions are equivalent because I divided by the same number. If I multiply 3 by 5 with 3, I get 9 by 15 again. So anyway, when a fraction is reduced to simplest form, those two fractions are, of course, they are equivalent fractions. Do you understand? So this is what equivalent fraction means. Then what do you mean by equal fraction and equivalent fraction? What is the difference between? You will be having a doubt. Say what is equal and what are equivalent fractions. So equivalent fractions are done as this way, like 9 by 15 becomes 3 by 5, isn't it? So 3 by 5 becomes 9 by 15. So when you multiply or divide by the same number, you get another fraction, that is called equivalent fraction. So what do you mean by equal fractions? So what is meant by equal fractions? Let us see. See, when I write 4 divided by 16, I write 4 divided by 16. So now this gets reduced to 1 by 4, obviously, because I can divide both the numbers by 4. So 4 divided by 4 is 1 and 16 divided by 4 is 4. So this is 1 by 4. Okay. I can get another number, I can get another fraction which has the same 1 by 4 in its reduced form. So how do we find that? How do we get that? Take any other fraction, like see 6 by 24. I write 6 by 24. If I divide both the numbers by 6, see, I know 6, in 6 tables I have 6 and 24, or 6 is the HCF of both 6 and 24. So I divide it by 6, I get 1 by 4 again. See, 1 by 4. These two fractions, see, actually these two fractions, 4 by 16 and 6 by 24, is not in any way equivalent fraction, because I can't multiply 4 by 16 to get 6 by 24. Do you understand? But they get reduced to the same fraction, that is 1 by 4. From 1 by 4 I can get 6 by 24, and from 1 by 4 I can get 4 by 16 also. But so 1 by 4 and 4 by 16 are equivalent fractions, but 4 by 16 and 6 by 24 are not equivalent fractions, because we can't get 6 by 24 from 4 by 16, or we can't get 4 by 16 from 6 by 24. Do you understand? So these two fractions are not equivalent fractions, but they can be called equal fractions because, see, they represent the same reduced form, 1 by 4. Do you understand? So equal fractions are a bit different from equivalent fractions, that you need to understand. Now we have done with equivalent fractions in simplest form of fractions, and we have also seen fractions in the number line, isn't it? I have shown you visually how to represent fractions on a number line. You should see the denominator and make that much number of divisions. Always start the number line from 0. If it is a positive fraction, start from 0, 1, 2, 3. See, give a clear indication of the points so that you know where the fraction stands or where the fraction is located. Okay, so see the denominator of the fraction, and according to the denominator of the fraction you need to divide each division into that much number of parts. Okay, so that is very simple. If you understand, you can quickly mark the fractions on the number line. Okay, and now the next one, what is the next one is, see, I have a fraction like 3 by 5 and 7 by 5 is another fraction. Okay, we observe, when you observe, you see this 3 by 5 in this numerator is less than the denominator, isn't it? See, numerator is less than the denominator. Okay, and in this fraction, if you see the numerator, see the numerator is 7, isn't it? So numerator is greater than the denominator. So two conditions we have: numerator less than denominator, numerator greater than the denominator. So these type of fractions where numerator is less than the denominator, those fractions are called proper fractions. They are proper fractions. Okay, they are proper fractions. Whereas when numerator is greater than the denominator, they are called improper fractions. Why they are called improper? Because they can be converted into some other type of fractions. They are not. See, this fraction cannot be changed into, or this cannot be reduced further, or it cannot be represented by any other type of fraction. But when you see improper fractions, see, you have 7 and in the numerator and 5 in the denominator, so you can divide it, isn't it? You can divide a bigger number by a smaller number, isn't it? So 5 divides 7 one times, and the remainder is 2. You have studied, you would have studied in the previous classes what is called division algorithm. That is a way to check your answers while doing division. Do you remember that? How do we do? See, we need to check whether you get 7 or not. So what is that division algorithm? Quotient into divisor plus remainder, isn't it? This is a division algorithm to get dividend. So shall we check now? Quotient is 1, divisor is 5, plus remainder. 5 into 1 is 5, 5 plus 2 is 7. Yes, we get 7 now. So the same division algorithm is taken here, and the given improper fraction can be represented as mixed fraction. What do you mean by mixed? Mixed, the word you can see from the word mixed. Mixed is, it means it is not one type of fraction. Okay, you have some other thing to it. Not only the fraction, you have some other thing to it. So it is called mixed. So what is mixed? Mixed has a whole number part plus a fraction part. Okay, that you need to understand. A whole number part plus a fraction part. So what do you mean by that? So let us take this example, 7 by 5. Now this 7 by 5 can be written as, so what is the quotient here? 1. And what is the remainder? Divided by the divisor. 1, 2 by 5. This is according to the division algorithm. 5 into 1 plus 2 is 7. So 7 by 5. So I have written 1, 2 by 5. What does it represent? The whole number part. See, the whole part is 1 here. So 1. What does it mean? If I have a pizza or a cake, I have one full cake here. Okay, one full cake here, and another cake. In another cake, the cake is divided into 5 parts. See, if I need to draw, I can draw it like this. See, I have a pizza, one full pizza here, and another pizza which is divided into 5 equal parts. So how do I divide it into 5? Let me try to divide it. Okay, so this is 5 equal parts I've divided, and out of 5 I take only 2 parts. Okay, see, I take only 2 parts from the 5 parts. So do you understand? Do you understand how this 7 by 5 can be represented? Actually, this pizza is one whole, and from the 5 pieces I take only 2 pieces and join it with this. Actually, this pizza is also divided into 5, so that totally it is 7 parts. Okay, 5 parts, the pizza is divided into 5, and in 2 pizzas I have one pizza full, the 5 pieces together, and 2 pieces from the other pizza. So it becomes 7 out of 5. Okay, that means one pizza is divided into 5 portions, and like that we have 7 portions. Do you understand? So that is the meaning of this 7 by 5. So 1, 2 by 5 represents one whole. So 1 is a whole part, plus the fraction part is 2 by 5. So that becomes 1, 2 by 5. So 7 by 5 is therefore called an improper fraction. An improper fraction can be, only the improper fraction can be made into mixed fraction, changed into mixed fraction. And mixed means whole number and a whole part and a fractional part. Okay, together we have mixed fractions. But proper fractions are they are only fractional parts. Okay, they don't have any whole number, any whole part. If I say 3 by 5, only 3 by 5 parts, only 3 parts are there out of 5 parts. See, like this, if I divide, only I am concerned with 3 parts. Okay, so these 3 parts I am concerned with out of 5. So there is no whole part here. Do you understand? So that is what proper fraction and improper fraction means. Proper fraction has numerator less than the denominator, and improper fraction has numerator greater than the denominator, and that can be converted into mixed fractions. This you need to understand more clear. Do you understand? Okay, so this is proper, improper and mixed fractions. Now we take just this 3 by 5 and 5 by 5 again to understand yet another concept. So 2 by 2, here there is 3 by 5 and 7 by 5. You have two fractions here. Now see, you have the denominator same. You have same denominators. So wherever I have, so I can write another some fractions like 1 by 5. So I have written some four fractions. So these four fractions all have the denominator as same denominators, isn't it? All the denominators are same. So when all the denominators are same, see, when all denominators are equal, denominator being equal, denominators are equal, then we say such kind of fractions as like fractions. Do you understand? Like fractions. What do you mean by like fractions? Like, they are like. Denominators are like. That means denominators are same. So when I write, now see, this will be easy for you to understand. 6 by 9, 4 by 7, 1 by 10. See, denominators are not like, isn't it? They are unlike. So these fractions are called unlike fractions. So from the name you can guess what it is. Okay, so like, if I say like, denominators are like, so denominators are same, they are like fractions. When I say unlike, so denominators are not like, they are not same, so they are unlike fractions. Do you understand? So these are like fractions where denominators are same, unlike fractions where denominators are different. Now denominators being same, we will be able to compare them very easily. How do we compare them? Comparison, what do you mean by comparison? Which one is greater, which one is lesser, which is equal? So it will be very easy for us to compare when the denominators are same. How? See, 1 by 5. Out of 5 portions there is only 1. Out of 5 there are 7. Out of 5 there is 4, and out of 5 there is 3. So now it's obvious which one is smaller. 1 by 5 is smaller. So you can arrange them in ascending order or descending order, isn't it? So whenever I see the denominators are equal, I can compare them very easily. So 1 by 5 is less than 3 by 5, less than 4 by 5, less than 7 by 5. So I have written it in ascending order. This is very easy for me to understand, isn't it? So this is much more easier, isn't it? But when I have different denominators, it is difficult for me to find out. See, 1 by 10 is here, 4 by 7, 3 by 6 by 9 or 3 by 5. How do I find which has a larger space or which is larger, which fraction is larger? So I need to draw it and I need to find it. So I can't guess it, isn't it? I can't just like that say whether it is lesser or greater, like what do you have in like fractions. So I have a method for comparing unlike fractions too. So that we'll see in the next class. Until then, you keep revising the concepts we have done till now. Equivalent fractions, then what we have done, simplest form of fractions, then we have seen proper, improper, mixed, then I told you like and unlike fractions, and also fractions on the number line. Okay, you keep revising. Until then, it's bye from Anu. Thank you.